Last but not least, we are going to talk about Skaar, Son of Hulk, number 9. Pete, you want to talk to Jordan about this?
Yeah. First of all, Jordan, you're doing great work. Secondly, I just
it's all in the assistants.
Yeah. This has really been crazy these last couple of issues. I have no idea what's going on, and every time I think I do, the rug is pulled out from under me. First of all, I thought Hulk shows up. Nope, not the Hulk. Then it's like Savage Hulk becomes Savage Surfer. I'm not sure if that's true anymore after that. Savage Silver,
Skaar.
Skaar, aka Savage Hulk.
Yeah, I was confused. Well, yeah. I mean, you basically summed it up without any of the, plot.
That's how I do.
You met Pete.
Yeah, in this arc, Silver Surfer, basically, Silver Surfer believes that if Galactus comes and feeds off of the planet Skaar, it will satisfy his hunger for thousands of years. So he comes to Skaar to tell him, get lost, and Skaar isn't having it.
No, he's not having it.
And in this issue, like you said, at the end of last issue, Hulk shows up, but you find out in this one, spoiler, it's not Hulk, it's Skaar's mother, or her spirit.
Her solid rock form spirit that can turn into the Hulk.
It's an alien planet.
You know all about the alien power.
I do.
For ages.
I was just so excited that the Hulk showed up. I thought it was going to be well.
There's some exciting stuff coming up.
Oh, there's some.
Do you want to talk about that at all?
Sure. This is issue 9, right? So 10 will be out next month, and after that, between 10 and 11, is the Planet Skaar prologue, in which, for reasons undisclosed, Skaar is going to end up on Earth, and is.
We think. And maybe Earth rips off its face and it's like, not Earth! What the heck are you doing here?
It's playing with your emotions.
Yeah!
Well, sorry. But it ends like you said with Skaar on Silver Surfer surfboard meeting up with.
It's
Galactus.
not Silver Surfer though, right? It's Savage Silver Surfer or something because he's got the old.
Well, they call him
school
Silver Savage, but that's just the name. It's
okay.
Right. He's on Silver Surfer surfboard and he meets up with Galactus. Don't you want to read the next issue?
You need to go over Pete's house whenever he is reading this book and just sort of annotate it for him. Anyway, definitely pick all of those up, and that's it for the stack. Yay! For my favorite section, because you guys make it up, it's your audience questions, and for that we're going to bring out Boothman.
Boothman!
Hey.
Hey! Nice.
Boothman lives in the booth.
He lives in the booth, people, okay? Cut him some slack.
Yeah, really. I'm not gonna get dressed up.
Sure.
Alright, so I got some questions.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, good, because this is audience question.
Oh, good. Oh.
Whoa. Late entry. Late entry.
And it's a long one.
I kind of want to see that from first.
Well, I haven't read it yet.
You want me to bring it to him?
Yeah, do you want to read it?
No, I'm saying read it.
No, we'll start.
Oh no.
All right, I'm awkward.
I haven't read this, so Alex is a dick. No. Threatened Books' original dynamic of having a single geek protagonist. Do you feel the title could...
Other side.
Oh my goodness. This is a two-sider. For Brand New Day... Sorry, Pete.
Oh no.
Joe Q wanted to make Peter Parker single again because he felt
This is ridiculous.
spoken for Spidey threatened the book's original dynamic of having a single geek protagonist. Do you feel the title could handle big character changes? Could handle big character changes? What? I just read what's on the paper.
James, pull it together!
The answer is no. Or yes.
Maybe.
Well said. Yeah. Should it say it could handle big character changes again? Whoever wrote this?
I ran out of space.
Oh, well, do you want to just like...
Yeah,
we're in question.
What are you saying?
Okay.
Alright, come on.
Alright.
Take your time. We have
Alright,
nothing but time.
He said, basically that,
Joe Q you're talking about.
yeah, like one of the reasons, I'm not sure if it's like the reason, or I've read about like one of the reasons being that like it changed the original dynamic of the book, like having someone like Peter Parker like marry Jane like way back, and she like lost that kind of loser geek sort of thing, and he kind of wanted to bring it back to that original dynamic, and felt that Spider-Man was losing something and lost that dynamic. Do you feel that it can? Do you agree that it can't handle those sort of dynamic changes and that loses something with the shift
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. I just don't know that like you're a loser geek. Yeah, like if does a wife make you cooler? You know what I mean? Does like all of a sudden, I'm not a loser geek because I have a wife, so it justifies.
She wasn't just a wife. It wasn't like he married some woman who loved him. It was a supermodel, an internationally famous.
Because all supermodels love the brains.
Yeah, every one of them.
Big brains.
I do, and I'm a supermodel.
Right? We know that. We have eyes.
Yeah.
No, but I understand what you're saying. Like, do you think that it was? I think what you're trying to say is that you know the sacrifice of him being like this smart guy nerd kid who's single and because it takes away from his like I guess relatability as a comic book reader who's like, oh, I'm nerdy like this guy or whatever it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the big thing is, more than that is, ideally is the wrong word for this, but ideally, the majority of comic book readers are not necessarily marrying age. They're younger, they're teenagers, early 20s, something like that. At least that's what most comics, I think, for the most part, are aiming for. So can they relate to like, oh man, we got to file our taxes? No, probably not. Also, not the best issue of Spider-Man.
Look, it has to come out. Just as someone who works on the book, I'm not entirely certain I understand your question, but I will say, regardless, I mean, the decision, I worked on the book after it started, the time it started at Marvel, the decision's already been made. And I say this not just because, I'm employed by the company, but I think it was absolutely the right decision. We had a property that could run the risk of going stale, and something drastic had to be done to revitalize it. And we've done it, and I've read a lot of message boards. There's always the point of like, oh, but you can do these same stories with him married. You can do any story with someone married, but it's more interesting, I believe, if he's got that tenuous, if he's walking that tenuous road where he doesn't have that much stability. And I think it does make for stronger storytelling potential.
Yeah, I was, I'll come out and say it, I was the assistant editor on One More Day, actually. And while the discussions were going on...
There's a red laser going.
Well, in the shop.
Did you want a bad Spider-Man book or a good
well, there were a lot of arguments. Obviously, we hashed out every viewpoint because when we talk about these things, we do it in a big room full of creators and editors, and there are you really see every viewpoint in that room, and in coming up with the reasons why we might make this change, I mean, there was a huge list. It could be relatability. It could be getting to tell stories that we couldn't tell otherwise. It could be even just like we want to make this more like the Spider-Man that kids grew up with, that adult readers might have grown up with, or that you even see in the movies, any number of things. And it was one of those things that I feel like you might latch onto one reason and think that that's the reason we did it, but I feel like really what it is at the end of the day is that there were just so many. How could we not?
Yeah, sure. All right, raise your hand so Pete can find you. He's going to bring you a gift. Sorry, Pete.